What's good, guys? So ranked matches have just been confirmed for Sparking Zero at the GameSpot Summer Live show, so let's react to it.
Welcome back to GameSpot Live here at Summer.
Oh, they messed his mic up.
I am your host this time. Tomorrow I'm joined by Kurt, but more excitingly, we're here with Jun and Junko. Jun, you're a producer on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and you are our lovely translator for this. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for bringing Dragon Ball to show off to us. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, so this is very exciting
we
for
all?
me. I'm a huge Dragon Ball player as well.
Aren't we all?
And it's returning to a format that I really love. So can you tell us a little bit about going back to this kind of like 3D fighting game approach? What was the kind of thinking with that?
そうですね、スパーキングゼロは実は武道会天下一シリーズという名前でこれまでアメリカでは出させていただいているゲームになっていまして、それのシリーズ作品になってます。で過去も3D での対戦格闘ゲームだったので、今回も3D でのアクションゲームにはなっています。
Yeah, so this is part of the Budokai Tenkaichi series. And in the past, we actually wanted to honor that 3D battling that was already part of the series. So that's why we're in 3D battle.
It's been so long since we've had this style of Dragon Ball fighting game. We've had so many other Dragon Ball fighting games since then. Like why now? Like why is this moment to kind of bring this back and like attempt this gameplay? And has there been? Are you staying close to it to the original format, or how are you changing up now?
Okay, simple questions. Simple questions until we get to the big hitters. I get it. I respect it.
そうですね、前作が出たのが17年前とかそれぐらい結構時間が経ってるんですね。そこからかなり時間も空いてただ昔の出ていた作品でも非常に多くの方が遊んでいただいていたファンの方も多くいらっしゃったので、今作時間が空いたところではあるんですけれども、その方々が満足いただけるようにしっかりとシリーズとしてのバトルシステムは同じく踏襲
The
させて
thing
いただいて
is, I wonder what else
近
they
い感
like
覚できっとプレイいただける
confirmed
というふうには思ってい
in
ます。
this.
Yeah, so, as we mentioned the last
Aside
time,
from ranked matches.
the part of the series is out is about 17 years ago. And during that time, there were so many fans. So we're really focused on making sure those fans are satisfied with the series of battles you can play in Sparking Zero.
So obviously the original games they had, they were very faithful to the source material in terms of the characters that were represented, which means various forms of Goku. And since like the last game, that has only increased, and now there's more Gokus than ever. There's more, different Vegetas. You've got more characters now. What was the process like in picking who's going to be involved? Was it a case of just being like, we want to get everyone, or is it a case of, let's be selective, we want, this character from Super or whatever it may be? How did you approach that process?
Okay, well, we know that for the most part. Like, we can tell now, like, post-release date trailer, that, like, majority of the characters in the base roster, at least, are going to be from Z, like, Radish, up until the end of Super. Like, we know that. Because even Superhero and Daima are going to be the DLCs, at least the first ones. So, like, by now, bro, we know. Base characters are definitely going to be Z to
Yeah, so,
TLP.
So of course, we did choose all the characters centered around the classics, of course, and there's also characters from Dragon Ball Super. And I feel, or we felt that the fans from Budokai Tenkaichi 3, they'll remember, being able to play Goku in his like earlier stage, mid stage, late stage in his story, and we're hoping that those fans will really get nostalgic about.
My thing is, there's
when they
so
play
many
that.
other
So
characters, though.
So that's kind of very fan.
Like, if you think about Tenkaichi 3,
Yeah. How are you approaching
really
kind of
think
like,
about
obviously,
how
the
many
heart of
side
these
characters
games is
we
always
saw.
like fighting with your friends and that kind of stuff. But for some people, they love the kind of like the story mode, arcade stuff, that kind of thing. How are you approaching that element of it? Obviously, fighting games aren't traditionally super heavy on story, but more recently they have been, and Dragon Ball has a rich history of narrative. How are you approaching that element of it?
Okay. So, I remember this part should be interesting from what I heard.
今回 まあ基本的にはその
about the
エピソー
story
ドバト
mode.
ルと
They
いう
called
も
it
のがあ
like
るんですけれども、
episode battle
そこで
mode
は
or
その原
something like that.
作で見たようなシチュエーションでのバトルを楽しめるモードに今回作らせていただいています。で特に長いキャラクター、ストーリーのボリュームの多いキャラクターと、悟空なんですけれども、ラディッツ編のところからですね、ラディッツが襲来する、やってくるところからですね、ドラゴンボールスーパーのところまで今回遊んでいただけるようにしています。なので基本的には原作で見たようなシチュエーションでのバトルを楽しめるモードになっているというものですね。
Yeah, so currently, when it comes to that narrative aspect, you can experience that through episode battles mode,
Yeah, see
and that
episode battles.
actually makes you immersed in those iconic battles from the series. And
Hold on. So that raises the question: is there not going to be like a quote unquote story mode? Like, is it only going to be quote unquote episode battle mode? Because if that's the case, I'm gonna be a little upset, because if it doesn't give like a OG story mode feel on top of the what if battles, I'm gonna be a little bit upset. On top of that, speaking of what if battles, I just did a what if battle video that should be coming out after this one, so go watch that if it's out, you know. But yeah, so yeah.
characters such as Goku, like you had mentioned, has a lot of content when it comes to Goku. You know, even with that, within the episode battle, you go from like Reddit's appearing,
bro,
all the
episode
Dragon
battle.
Ball Super narrative.
Right.
So I think it was, you mentioned, Junko, it's been 17 years since the original series, and obviously, like, you know, those were PS2. I think there was one on the Wii, and we've had so many console generations since. And like being able to, like, right now we're seeing on the screen like a full city battle, and I kind of want to know, like, you know, were there very specific episodes I'm sure you're taking inspiration from, but where is, you know, like, how are you using like new technology, a new way to like try and show the scope and power of a fight in Dragon Ball that maybe like the 2D games don't do quite as well?
He's
Or
gonna say
do it
that
as
they're
their own
using
way.
Unreal Engine 5.
二次元ゲーム
That's
で
really it.
昔 PS2
Honestly,
遊びた頃と比べてやっぱり2024年の
they talked about this
プラットフォーム
plenty
でやっぱり
times now.
街の破壊とかはどういうふうにそのもっとすごい体感アップになったんでしょうか、スパーキングゼロでは。
そうですね、街だけに限らずですね、今回アンリアルエンジン5も使わせていただいて、リアルタイムでその悟空たちの持つ超パワーを体験表現できるような形でですね、ゲームの方は作らせていただきました。なのでビルとかも戦いの余波で激しくドカーンと壊れたりもするですし、他にもですね、ちょっと気をためるだけで草木がバタバタと揺れたりだとか、もう天気まで変わったりとかっていうところまで今回リアルタイムに楽しんでいただけるように今なっています。
So we've utilized, we're on Unreal Engine 5, so we can really
See?
grasp those battles in
I
real
told
time.
y'all.
So yes, in the cities there will be massive destruction, and even when any of our characters, if they're able to when they're recharging their ki, you can actually see the blades of grass starting to move, the weather changing, the trees moving. So it's a lot more of a immersive experience thanks to the technology.
So just
Obviously,
like
when
little
you look at
graphical
trailers of it
changes.
and videos of it, it looks like it plays like a classic game. What are the
Really
kind of
like
gameplay
the open
changes,
world
additions,
part of
tweaks
it.
that you have done that might not,
Not
be
open
visible
world,
from a
but like the
trailer just
world part
watching
of it.
it?
予告編だけ見ていて、ゲームプレイの様子が予告編ではすごい
Yeah,
わからない。
mainly
スパーキング
his
ゼロ
response to that is just about like the
そう
world
です
and
ね、
the
スパー
sparks
キングシリーズ
flying
は
and stuff.
3D 対戦アクションとして作っているもので、特にやっぱり「ドラゴンボール」の作品自体すごい3次元的で縦横無尽にすごい超スピードで戦うっていうような作品になっていますし、それを自分の手で本当に操作しながら生み出すことができる、超高速で相手を移動して翻弄したりみたいなこともできますし、やっぱりそういうドラゴンボールらしいアクションっていうのをその手でリアルタイムに生み出せるっていうところがこのスパーキングシリーズ、武道会天下シリーズの魅力というふうに私たちは考えています。
Yeah, and we think that what's really especially great about Sparking Zero is that you're, it is, like we mentioned, 3D battle, and the fact that you can control all their movements and how, they're super fast speed, and you can actually control all that and experience it. So I think
So
that's one of
basically, the
things
fact
that's
that the
really
graphics
exciting
look
about it.
really good and we can
As a huge
control
fan,
that.
obviously the voices
I
of
bet
these
that will
characters
feel
are very,
good, though.
very important. What's kind of been the system and approach in bringing those voices back? Are you kind of taking
voices
previously
that
recorded stuff
definitely
and
is a
reusing
big
it, which might sound bad, but as someone who loves Dragon Ball, sounds perfect to me. I want to hear him say Kamehameha exactly how I remember it, but what's the approach for audio and that kind of stuff?
Honestly, as far as pre-recorded stuff, like if they reuse stuff, I'm not gonna mind.
聞くのはファンとしては大歓迎なんですけど、なので声優さんとかはどういうふうに書かれされますか？
そうですね、そこはちょっと私の方からちょっとなかなか申し上げられる部分ではないので、ちょっとここで差し控えさせていただけたらなんですけど。
Yeah, actually, that's an area that is a bit out of scope for
Oh,
for
okay, that's
right now,
fine.
so
It's a little bit
can't talk
secret.
about
I'm
too much.
excited to see it. Yeah. In terms of the multiplayer stuff,
They're keeping
we
that
have
a
the classic
secret?
battles. What are the other kind of formats that are going to be available in terms of the combat
That's kind of
stuff,
wild.
beyond just the one-on-one fight? Usually, you have a little extra flavor in there as well.
バトルのバトルの種類はマルチプレイ、一応1対1は基本ですけれども、他にはどんなバトル対戦があるんですか？フォーマット的に。
基本的にお客さんはその1対1、プレイヤーは2人ですね、1対1の対戦が基本的になっていまして、その中でチームでその最大5人までメンバーを選んでバトルすることができるというのが基本的なバトルシステムにはなります。
Yeah, so at the core of it is player versus player, but then you can also create teams, a maximum of five players, and battle out.
So what I want to know about that is, right, is it gonna be like the same 5v5 style, like, oh, character dies, next character comes in, or are we talking Xenoverse 3v3 style? Like, I believe it's gonna be the same from like BT3, how they did like, oh, character dies, next character comes in. I believe that's how they're gonna do it, but it would be absolutely insane to see 5v5, 10 people in one lobby. That would be insane. I doubt that's like at all what they're thinking about, but that would be cool, just for a future thought.
That way.
Yeah, that sounds like you can recreate classic moments, I guess. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about the online component, because obviously the previous game in the series or spiritual successors, predecessors, didn't have much of an online component. Can you talk a little bit about how online is implemented? Is it going to be available, or how are you working with that?
過去の作品はオンラインっていうのはそんなになかったので、スパーキングゼロはオンラインでは何があるランクなんですか？
そうですね、フレンド同士で楽しむことのできる当然対戦もありますし、ランクマッチという形で強さをどんどん自分で上を目指していくっていう遊び方もできるようになります。
Yeah, so there is, playing with friends, and then there'll be ranked matches as well.
Oh, fantastic! That sounds cool.
I'm super excited about the idea. I'm so fixated on like the destruction aspect of it, and like being able to see like the scope of these fights, because it's such an iconic
stage
thing
destruction
in anime. But playing it is a different story.
Like, a lot of y'all don't realize, bro. Some of y'all might be young, so like y'all ain't really get the chance to play the old games. But it used to be so annoying how like stuff that looks like it's supposed to be destroyed in the games couldn't be. Or like even in Xenoverse, how like you can destroy a piece of the stage and it just would regenerate. Like, that was always stupid to me. I never liked that. There is certain parts in like pieces that won't regenerate though. Like in Xenoverse 2, I think if you go to the Cell Games arena and you like knock down the little things, I'm pretty sure they stay down. But I don't know. I don't really remember. I haven't played Xenoverse in a little bit. But like, stage destruction is definitely something that I'm very happy to see be as upgraded as it is today, because back in 15, 16 when Xenoverse 1 came out and we were begging for stage destruction to be like one of the more upgraded things, like, bro, now we're getting it.
And I was curious if there was like a specific character or thing, or even a combination of characters that you love to watch like destroy cities or punch through mountains, and like what's that like to be able to like fulfill that fantasy?
古田さん自身、このキャラクターを都会を破壊するとき見る場面が好きとか、そういう、迫力ある、シーンがキャラクターか要素。
I'm so hyped for this game, bro.
そうですね。ちょっと 当然戦いの中で壊れていくっていうところでは都市を壊すためにってわけではないんですけれども、そうですね、例えばブロリーなんかは周囲にこう木で爆発して周囲を一気にこう、攻撃することができる技を持っていますし、僕はアルティメットブラスト一番強い必殺技ですねでいうとすごい木を体の周りに放ちながら放つすごいカメハメハを打つことができて、かなり盛大にグラフィック表現含めて気持ちの良い表現になっているんじゃないかなというふうには思います。
Yeah, so I would, as examples, I would say Broly. His explosive move actually explodes, around him.
Yeah, we seen that move in the trailer.
Very destructive, but Goku's ultimate blast. When he's any of the Kamehamehas, I think the graphics that
y'all tell me, are y'all gonna go speed type characters or more power type characters? I know it's at the end of the day probably just gonna come out to or come down to which one ends up being better in the meta for whatever it is. Like the whole difference of how speed characters get their whatever meter it was back faster than power characters, but power characters, if they do catch you, it's hard hitting. I don't really know. I hope there's a balance between that too, because the whole concept of power versus speed, I feel like it's cool to have, but to make it a whole archetype thing is just so 2017 2K-esque. I'm so off of that, bro. Overall, I like the concept. I mean, it's realistic, but be honest. If we put Burter against Broly, you're going to tell me Burter is going to get away from Broly, based on the actual show? No. Overall, I just hope they don't break a certain type of character. I hope speed types getting their, regenerating whatever meter it was back faster isn't so insane to an extent where if you play a power character, you're just selling yourself. Because then that's when we start to see the problem of everybody playing the same exact characters in ranked. Like in JJK, the new update came out, and now all we see is the same 5 characters. If you're lucky, you 100% will see a Toji in every ranked match you get into. If not, a Geto. I promise you that. And that's an issue I really do not want to have in Sparking Zero. Honestly.
Offering now with Sparking Zero is it just will feel so much better to really feel that all that power.
On the flip side, how do you approach characters that don't have that much destructive power and continue to make them fun and interesting? Everyone loves to make fun of him, but some people still love Yamcha, but he doesn't quite have the destructive power of other characters. So how do you approach kind of ensuring that if you decided you want to play Yamcha, it's still fun and there's a lot to see and feel with him?
Don't hate on Yamcha. Yamcha smash on folks, especially in fighters. He hard. I'm gonna drop a video on Yamcha.
ヤムチャで言うと、
When the
ヤムチャ
game
のカメ
comes
ハメ
out,
が使えたりするの
of
で
course.
結構やっぱパワフルな力を持っているキャラクターにはなりますし、でもその中でも特徴的な近接攻撃でのローガ風風剣という技だったりとか、超必殺技早期弾っていう相手に攻撃して木の玉をバシバシと相手にぶつけるような技とかもできますし、やっぱりキャラクターらしいアクションっていうのを楽しんでいただけるようなキャラクターにはなっています。
Yeah, so even Yamcha, he still can do Kamehameha.
A little bit.
So he still has,
Hopefully.
Yeah, he still has he can still do that, but a lot of close combat. He has very specific very specific moves that he can do, including multiple energy attacks, things like that.
Yeah.
So we have made sure to really know and understand the specific qualities of our characters.
Okay, that's good. That means that we get to get everything a character has. You know what though? That reminds me. Are we gonna be picking preset moves for characters? Think about how they did it in what was it, Raging Blast? Where you had to switch out a character's moves. And not only that, are they gonna go back to the whole Z-Soul concept and stuff like that from Xenoverse? I really hope not. I really hope it's as balanced as possible and you can be good, genuinely good with any character you choose to pick up. I really hope so.
うまく自分の残像を使って回避するみたいな技もあったりして、そういうか乱をしながら戦うキャラクターもいたりしますし、そのキャラクターらしい戦い方をそれぞれ楽しんでいただけるようにはなっているかなと思います。
And even Kuririn, he has a solar blast that blinds everyone.
Solar blast,
counterattacks.
solar flare.
So yeah, being knowing our characters really well.
Yeah.
And to bring out their qualities.
Yeah, but I'm very glad to see the game back, and it's definitely evoking my nostalgia. Thank you so much, Junko, for joining us on the show and bringing Dragon Ball to us. It's hopefully going to be seeing more of it at the show. But yeah, thank you for everyone for watching, and we'll see you very soon with hopefully Metaphor Refantasio.
Okay, y'all. So, in conclusion, ranked matches have been confirmed. I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with the fact that they're not being as shy with information as they could be. And the one reason I'm kind of scared about that is because, think about it, the game comes out in October. It's early to mid-June right now as we're getting all of this information. And so I'm just thinking, like, how much more can they really give us in the span of that amount of time? They've been giving us a whole lot for the past like month and a half. We've got a lot of information. We got fusions. We got all the information from the release date trailer. Now we got this where they're confirming ranked and all these other things. And it's just like, wow, bro. Like, do they really have that much information to tell us about other than characters? Because, I mean, think about it. There's a lot of characters to announce before the release. But think about it. There's not that many months. I just don't want them to have to skimp out on information all the way up until around like September or like August even. But I don't know. We'll see. But that was confirming ranked. I mean, yeah, if you like the video, give it a like. For more Sparking Zero and everything anime or gaming period, subscribe to this channel. A lot of y'all know me off my other channel. I know. This is my second channel. If you didn't know, my main channel is a music channel. It's in the description somewhere. It's on my channel somewhere. But if you like Dragon Ball, Naruto, JJK, Curse Clash, Roblox, GTA, all of that, I do everything. A little bit of everything. So yeah, drop a sub and I'll see y'all later. Peace.